Hi everyone, this is Susan from the Pattern Place, and I'm going to film my latest album that I'm making, which is not one of my own designs. It's a design by Marion Smith. Let me just bring it in here. She's produces some digital pages, so I've just got my iPad here so I can show you the website. This is it here. I don't know how well you can see it. The website you need to go to is marionsmithdesigns.com. And on there she has a whole range of digital album pages which you can purchase and download and then print off on your home printer. Although my home printer is not the greatest, so what I did is I took the downloaded PDF files to my printer and asked him to print them out for me. So I have some really clear examples now of the pages, much better than I could print at home. So this is on white cardstock. It's 250 GSM, which they're able to run through the copy machine, and it's got just a slight sheen to it, and it's printed in full color. So this is the pages as you get them. Marion, if you ever watch this, I just love your designs. They just really appeal to me, so I'm hoping that this is going to be a beautiful album when I'm finished. So all I have to do now is cut around the edges. So I've got my paper trimmer here. I took the opportunity to put a new blade in it so I get a nice crisp cut. And I'm just going to work through these pages using my paper trimmer. Some of them you'll see as I turn through here, some of them you see, obviously the paper trimmer is not going to work well here. So I'm just going to use my scissors to cut that out. And for these ones, I will try and find a circle punch that is the right size to just be able to punch those out. Otherwise I'll go back and I'll just use my scissors. So there's tags and pages. Here's one that I've already done, and you can see that I've had to use my scissors there because of the slight curves. And as I go through, I haven't done it on this one yet, you can see just the white there along the edge where I've got the dark of the front and the white cardstock behind. I'm just going to use Tim Holtz Walnut Stain, the Distress ink, and I'm just going to use that as I go to disguise the cut just there. So I'm just going to sponge that all around the edges, and that'll just disguise that because I don't like the white look showing through. So I'm going to do that as I go. So I'm going to prepare all these pages, then I'll come back and show you what the next step is. I've made a start cutting out some of the pages, so you can see the pages come like this, and I cut them out and then use my scoreboard to score and do it, and then I just have to do my sponging all the way around the edges on that one. Same thing when you get little pockets, just cut those out and then score along the edges and fold those under. And what I've done is along the top edge of the pocket, because I don't like the cut line along there and having that, which gets really worn every time you put tags in and out. So if you have it sitting here like this, every time you put a tag in and out, it gets a little bit worn along that edge. So I have just left a bit of the extra card attached to this, and I've scored it and I've folded it under. I have already just put some Distress Stain along the edge there, and then when I fold these under, I've got that nice solid turned edge there, which gives me a lovely tailored look. As I was cutting out my album pages that you saw in the earlier video, there were some issues that I came across that I thought I would just show you how I dealt with them in case you encounter the same things if you choose to do this. So this is one of the album envelope pages, and there are little markings there for where to bend the pages, but I found it much easier to put it on my score pal here like this, or my scoreboard. And I've got the center line, the 6-inch line marked with a permanent pen, so it's easy for me to see. And what I did was I just lined it up at the top there and at the bottom on that line, which is not necessarily on the edges of where the paper turns, and then just scored like that. Sorry, you can hear my dogs growling. Someone must be coming to the door. And same thing here, line it up, which in some cases doesn't look terribly straight. But that's the best way I found to get the pages and the envelopes to fold nicely. So line it up there. You see how it's not on the edge there or there, but then just score it like that. And I've got one more here to do. Just line that one up, top and bottom, and then score that. And then it's just a matter of folding them in, using my bone folder there to get a nice crisp edge. And the same thing here. Oops, I'm trying to keep myself in shot there for you. Like that. So I found that was much easier than just trying to fold it over and to get that fold aligned directly on there. This is another page which needs to be folded in half. And again, what I did is I just lined it up on the center line here and then measured across from each side to see whether I was in the middle. So if we take the 6, and in actual fact I just need to come a little bit that way, and then that is the middle of it there. So I found a bit hard to eyeball that, but if I do it like this I get a much neater result. And then I put that up in the corner and I fold it and I push that up into the corner as well, so everything's nice and straight. And then I use my bone folder to make that score right on the edge, and then that eliminates any little overhangs that you might have. So it's nice and even all the way round. And then it's just ready for me to disguise that white cut mark, the white edge of the paper when it's cut, by just going all the way around the edges there. This is one of the pages that has a little tag that goes with it that slides in. You have a ruled line there which comes on the page when you print it out, and you just cut along that, and that creates the little slot for the tag to slide in. And then when you do that, you just glue all the way around the edge there, just avoiding that tag. What I like to do just to reinforce that was I saved some of the offcuts of the cardboard as I was trimming the pages out, and I glued just along the top there and the bottom of these pages just a little reinforcing strip. So that's double thickness there, so it's nice and firm. And then once again I've rounded off the corners of the tag so it slides in nicely, and I'll just glue that shut shortly. This one has a tag that slides in and out like this, and that's the other side, so lovely. So I just need to put my wet adhesive down the sides there. We have one more here. This is another page where it's got a tag that slides in. So that one says notes. It's got lots of room for journaling on it, and I love this little bracket top that it has there. And I'll just show you what I did. This is, once again, I've reinforced the inside of this cut with the extra card, so that's nice and firm. And then in order to sponge the other side, all I do is I just lay it down nice and straight, take a pencil and just do my line through there, and then when I open it up I've got the pencil line so I know where to go ahead and do my sponging. So I just sponge over that pencil line so that's completely disguised, and you don't have to go too far away from it because it's just a little slot in the paper, so you're not going to see a lot of this background. But I think that's just nice so that when you close it you see brown rather than that white strip peeping through. And I've rounded the corners there so that slides in nicely. And then these pages you saw back at the beginning, these were all done. And the last thing I did was, as I was cutting out the pages, Marion Smith's copyright is on one of the pages here. So I just cut that out, and I'll punch that out, and I'll put that somewhere in the album just to give her credit for all of the design work she's done on this, and remind me in future years who the designer of the album was. So thanks for watching. This is Susan from the Pattern Place.